Texas Rangers, the New York Yankees, and the Atlanta Braves. He played football, basketball, and baseball in his high school, but he was a player for the major leagues, and that's what he's here for tonight, to tell us how it went. He was seen on baseball cards in the 80s and the 70s, and I'm telling you, when I met him, it was a great moment because I knew I thought he was a football player. The name sounded like a football player, but then when I realized, the first thing that came to my mind when I met this gentleman was his baseball card, because I collected during that time. It is my honor and pleasure to announce our in-studio guest of the evening, legendary baseball player, Billy Sample.
Thank you, Freddie. Thank you. That was outstanding. Thank you very much. Just like I wrote it. Thank you.
Welcome to the Wiseguyz Show, Billy. It was an honor to have you here. It was an honor to have met you. We met at our buddy Angel Salazar's comedy show.
That's right.
And me and Angel.
I did an open mic stand-up.
Did you? You do?
After that, yeah.
He's a stand-up comedian.
Wow, welcome.
Yeah. My first one, or 16, I was at, oh my goodness.
Did you quit it?
Fair Lawn, huh?
Did you stop it?
How'd it go?
I thought I was pretty good. I didn't care about anybody else but me, but
Yeah.
I thought I was pretty good. They had some people that, in fact, I saw at Bananas. That's where we met, at Bananas, and I saw a couple of comedians there, and I thought of the 16 of us, I was pretty good. My material's pretty raw, though. It's a strong R kind of material. Just like my movie, segue. Just like my movie,
Right.
Reunion 108. Strong R.
I didn't get too much info on that. Is that something new?
No, actually, I wrote the screenplay for it in 2011. It took top honors at the Hoboken Film Festival.
Wow,
So I said, well,
okay.
let me see if I can produce it. So I went into debt and hawked everything because we didn't make a whole lot of money back in my day, folks. Wow. And it's good. The person who rates the movie for the classification board really enjoyed it, which to me was very flattering because I imagine that person gets all the sports movies. So that was
we had
very flattering.
wasn't our buddy Servino, Billy Servino, wasn't he in part of the Hoboken Film Festival and that?
I didn't pay him any money.
Yes.
No, I didn't. I didn't pay him any money.
No?
No, I didn't.
We heard you paid him some money to
I
get
know
that
those
movie in there.
film festivals can be a little shaky
No,
sometimes.
but we had a friend here. I don't know if he did the Jersey City Film Festival. We did one of them. I thought maybe the name might sound familiar. Billy Servino. Was it Jersey City?
Yes, Jersey City.
It afforded me
That's
to talk to Robert Lozier, though, and he was talking about his baseball playing days at Wagner University.
Really? He
You
plays
still
in
get
Wagner?
that kind of access, yeah. The
We
late
met Robert. We
Lozier,
met
yeah. This
Robert.
would have been 2011, so he died. 2015.
We met him at Chiller though. He was at Chiller.
Mm-hmm.
He passed, right?
Yes,
recently.
just recently.
Yeah, but we met him at Chiller. He was actually next to Burt Young, and Burt Young called our show.
What a
Robert
talented
didn't do
actor.
it. Yeah, Burt Young called our
geez,
show.
yeah.
He's still alive.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, we also interviewed Ernest Borgnine
Wow.
back in I think 2011. He was still alive, and I met him at Chiller also, and
He
he
lived
gave
until
me
he
his
was
home
about
phone number.
95. Yeah, he was in his mid-90s.
He made like 200 and something movies. I mean, and he was still doing a movie. It was called The Hand that the guy that shook the hand of something. But that was his last movie, and I got to watch it. And I'm telling you, it was an honor to have met him. He was a great guy. He gave me his home phone number in Beverly Hills. Did the 25-minute interview with the old guys on the Wiseguyz show and me, and I sang "Mama" to him. I bring that up because you just sang to Bobby Hart, but I sang "Mama" to Ernest Borgnine, and it was just a memorable moment.
Say that again. What did I sing to?
Bobby Hart.
Wow. That's pretty wild. It just hit me that I was singing to.
You're singing to a guy who wrote the songs to all the monkey songs.
Hey, I'm giving our wise guys respect, okay?
Well,
giving a little love.
This guy here played Major League Baseball, and tell it honestly, it's not easy to get into the major leagues.
You go through a lot of numbers. I believe somebody told me that of every player that signs, roughly 1 out of 13 will make it to the majors. And when I first signed in my first camp, I signed after my junior year in college, and our coach said, who later became our general manager, Joe Klein, he said, there were about 25 to 30 of us. He said, take a look to your left, take a look to your right, pick out another person, because that's all that's going to make it. And he wasn't saying it so much to scare us, he was just saying those are the odds. And sure enough, Steve Comer, a right-handed changeup artist, preceded me to the majors, and Ryan Allard came after me. He got a cup of coffee with the Rangers and the Mariners, and that was it out of that group.
Now, where were you living at the time?
I was in Harrisonburg, Virginia, playing at James Madison.
So you got picked up by the Rangers in Harrisburg, Virginia?
Well, I was drafted out of high school in the 28th round by the late great Joe Branzel, very nice man, the scout that drafted me, and he could hear my disappointment over the phone. He said, "Well, Bill, Texas Rangers drafted you in the 28th round." I'm thinking, I didn't know they had that many rounds. He said, at the time,
I was going to say, is 28 the last, or is that
no, they
35?
had a few more, but not
cow.
many more, yeah. And he said he could hear my disappointment, so he said, "Well, Bill, at the time there were 24 teams. 23 teams passed over you 27 times." As if to say, don't blame us for drafting you. It's so late.
Listen,
Rangers were
I know baseball.
last place in '78.
I grew up watching baseball. Let me tell you how deep it goes for me. 1976, I was 6 years old, and I cried watching the
I have
Yankees.
dreams older than you.
Well, but follow me. My first vision of any sport was baseball. The World Series between the Reds and the Yankees.
You got swept.
I was a Yankee fan. They got
76.
swept. I remember crying. All I wanted them to do was win one game and not get swept. I would have been okay if they lost the series 4-1. As long as I just wanted to see them beat the Reds once. And they didn't. But at 6 years old, what 6-year-old kid watches the World Series these days? You know what I mean? And you know why? Because that was the only thing on TV at the time. The only big event going on was the World Series back then. There was no cable. There was no the big event was the World Series. That's it. No HBO show, just in case you didn't want to watch the World Series. The only thing on TV was the World Series, and that's true.
That's a great point, Freddie, because I grew up in Salem, Virginia, in the mountains of Southwest Virginia, and the only game we got to see was the game of the week. And even during the lean times, Tony Kubek, and before that, Pee Wee Reese, and somebody else was even before that too. Dizzy Dean. This is going back to the 50s. So the only game we got to see was the game of the week. And the Yankees were on quite a bit because of the market, even though they weren't playing particularly well. So it was fun for me to meet some of the people and interact with some of the people that I watched. Oh, this would have been in the 60s.
Oh, all right, yeah, they were.
I told you I had
just the early 60s.
After 64, the Yankees took a dive.
Yeah.
But to have interacted with, if I go to an event, a charity event, and Joe Pepitone's there, he'll bust on me like we were teammates. And I was 7 years old when he was in the big leagues. And so it's been fun for me to interact with the Bobby Richardsons and the Tony Kubeks and now the late Clete Boyer and some of those people I watched when I was growing up.
Now your first at bat in the major leagues, you got a base hit.
Yeah, I was a first ball fastball hitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were waiting for that first pitch. but pitchers, I'm surprised pitchers actually gave you that fastball that first at bat. I thought they would not.
They didn't really have a scouting report on me.
No, but being that it was your first, I would always think that a pitcher back then, especially, would never let a batter get his first hit off of them. I wouldn't think they would just give you a fastball right down the plate.
No, I don't.
No?
I don't think they think that.
No?
Pitchers trying to establish.
They know you're new in the league, never had a hit yet. They don't want you to be.
I'm sure Jerry Augustine had no idea who I was.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Is that
I knew
who it was,
Jerry Augustine, left-handed sinking fastball. I lined into right center field. Sixto Lescano dove. It went off his glove. I'm on first base with a Cheshire Canadian grin. And Bump Wills comes and pinch runs for me because it was really strange. I was just there. I was leading off the game to give Bump one less at bat from his right side. He was a switch hitter. And so it was a little odd in that situation anyway. I have no idea. We were playing in Milwaukee.
Did
so
you get the ball?
Somewhere. They dirty up a ball for you and give it to you. And they hide the real ball. I remember Richie Zisk was doing something with the ball. I wasn't that sentimental anyway.
Did you have it though?
It probably got lost in the move. So I'm sure it'll come out of the.
Well, they do it every day nowadays.
The days before the Tom Brady jersey, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about your debut. You debuted in September of '78. The season's over.
Well, we were actually 5.5 games out in third place. The Angels and the Royals. The Royals ended up winning the division in the West. Yeah,
and having the talk of the league was the Yankees and the Red Sox at that time. That chase in '78. Thank you, Fred.
It's funny. When I was traded to the Yankees, people were asking me about the excitement about the Red Sox and the Yankees. Well, I played most of my career in the other division. I didn't know anything about the Red Sox and Yankees rivalry. I'm busy trying to deal with Kansas City.
What was the Texas Rangers rivalry back then?
Everybody. We seemed like we fought everybody.
Yeah.
We had some guys who could fight.
Did you play with Nolan Ryan?
No, I only faced Nolan as an opponent when he was with the Angels, and I was with the Rangers.
Wow, was he as deadly as I mean, not deadly.
I don't recall anybody throwing any harder.
Yeah.
And you could see it, and it's not like Nolan was hiding it, but you could see it. But
that seems like that's all
You know,
he threw was a fastball.
oh yeah, no, standing curveball.
Oh, he did have a
nasty
curveball.
curveball.
Yeah. I remember him
What was
just
the
always
speed
throwing
time
fastballs.
on his fastball?
My most memorable game about Nolan was when he pitched it was the Angels and the Yankees, and Jackson broke up the hit with a no-hitter with a double. You know, when you're a kid, you don't want the Yankees getting into no-hitter. You know.
I got the second hit of a two-hitter he threw in Anaheim, but if Oscar Gamble hadn't gotten the first hit in the seventh, I don't think I was getting my second hit in the ninth. He was blowing. And I don't recall anybody throwing
Just threw
any harder.
smoke. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of reaction
How
time.
many bats crack on you?
I didn't break too many.
No?
I didn't break too many. But if you break one, you crack one, you get a base hit. Hey,
Home run,
it was
yeah.
worth it.
Now, in 1978,
that bat died a hero.
in 1978, you made the all-rookie tops team.
79.
79?
Yeah, I
Okay.
came up in 78. Yeah, but you're right. The 79.
But the card that I remember the most was that triple guy card.
with Danny Darwin
I have
and
him. I
Pat
was
Putnam?
looking for him. I can't find him, but too bad.
Oh.
I'm going to grab his money. I'm going to run into him sooner or later.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to save him for you because I have
Probably
a
get
lot.
15 cents out of it.
I think they're a
cup
little
of
more.
coffee, maybe.
16 cents.
Yeah, well, Danny played a long time. Danny
But
played a long
Billy
time.
Sample, it was Pat Putnam.
But,
I remember, and
that's
Billy,
a harder autograph to get. I see a few because people will send me to the house, and Danny Darwin signs them all, and I sign them all. And Pat's harder to find, but every once in a while you'll find a Pat Putnam.
Now you
autograph.
also had a 19-game hitting streak in '81.
Yeah, that was kind of
That was cool.
That was interesting because I had a 9-game streak.
You were a
Made
good
a
hitter.
diving catch, broke my wrist on the only time I went on the deal. Broke my wrist.
Ah.
The light stanchions in Arlington Stadium were so low because it was a minor league park that you had every line drive went through the lights, and you just hoped that the line drives would come out of the lights. And I had to wait for this one to come out. And by the time it came out, it was so low to the ground that when I made the catch, I didn't have enough time to lift my hand, and I rolled on and broke the ulnar styloid bone there.
Oof.
So I went on the DL, came back. We had a labor impasse in 1981 that lasted 50 days. So I came back, had another 7-game. I had a 7-game after I healed from the broken wrist. Then we went on strike. Then I came back and got a hit the first game after the strike. So it was like a 19-game hitting streak that lasted 3 months.
Talk about that strike. I mean, this is 1981. I don't really recall. What was the strike over?
The owners wanted to make it was over free agency, and the owners wanted
What else
to.
is no?
Oh, there are other things too, the pension plan and things like that. But the owners had wanted to make free agent compensation so high that in essence you weren't a free agent because they were. Let's say you and I were equal players, and your team signs me, and then they would have to give up you and then somebody else. Well, it's not worth it. They're not going to sign me because you're a better player than I am. So. That was essentially what that was over, and the owners had strike insurance that lasted for 50 days. And funny how they came to the negotiating table after their strike insurance went out.
But listen, you played 9 seasons, right? Am I correct? Okay, 9 seasons and a 272 batting average is not a bad batting average.
Well, thank
Not
you.
for 9 seasons.
That's a let me tell you. You got for the major league. Let me tell you, there's players that wish they can end up with a 270.
Well,
That's that.
thank you for it.
I'm going to say
Nice
that's
of you
more
to say.
like into a Tino Martinez type of average, right?
I think Tino hit a little higher, but
No, he didn't hit higher than 280. I don't believe it.
He had a lot bigger moments.
I'm telling you, maybe, but I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I think Tino batted his career batting average ran at two.
Nice man, very nice.
270.
Man.
But did you
Clutch
do any
player.
old timers days over there?
They don't invite all stars back. For
No,
old
they
timers. They're not going to
yeah,
invite a
I
guy that
thought
had 1
Kevin
year
Moss
there.
wasn't an all-star. Kevin Moss wasn't an all-star.
Tommy
was it?
John got an
Well,
invite
Tommy
back.
John's different, but no, that Kevin Moss. They had
I
Brian Doyle was another.
I went one time only when I was working at MLB.com where I was interviewing some of the guys. That's the only time I've been. But it was fun. It was fun to see some of the guys. And I see some of the Mickey Rivers. I see Mickey every once in a while. And his wife, Cookie, my goodness, she deserves sainthood. And that's the Oscar
Oh, so
Gamble I
that
mentioned
story, that story
about
with
busting up the car in the
yeah,
parking
that's all
garage.
true.
I wasn't there. I was still in Texas.
That's what I wanted to ask you. In 1978, were the players still chewing psychedelic bubblegum? Which is Bobby Hart's book.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. Or something
Or
like
were you?
that. I didn't even try the psychedelic bubble gum.
Nah.
All right. Yeah.
Did,
You would have hit 273 then.
That's right. Game would have gone by a lot quicker.
now let me ask you, why did it stop? I mean, in '83, you were fifth in the league in stolen bases. Okay, yeah, you were 44 out of 52.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for
Yeah, we looked
knowing
it up.
exactly
Listen,
how many.
I probably knew this when I was 8 years old, but I had to refresh my memory. No, but to be fifth in the league in stolen bases back then, when you got guys like Ricky Henderson in the league,
Yeah, Ricky's still in over 100. By the time you get down to
he's still in the
44.
league for all stolen bases.
Ricky stole one yesterday.
that's right. Well, in
He-
the
he's
American
pled-
League, it was Ricky.
he pled
had
not
over
guilty.
100, and, Willie Wilson, Julio Cruz.
Yeah,
Paul Molitor stole quite a
Robin
few.
Yount, was he fast?
Robin didn't steal as many as Molitor did, but yeah, they could steal.
Ogilvy was pretty quick. No.
No, Benji was more of a power hitter. He was a lanky, strong, sinewy kind of power hitter. But you were talking about the Brewers. My goodness, we never got those guys out.
Harvey's Wallbrangers.
Oh my goodness, and we couldn't get Ed Romero out, much less Molitor and Yount, and Cecil Cooper and Ben Ogilvy and Charlie Moore
wow.
and Ted Simmons, and
Yeah.
whew, you get behind those guys on a Saturday afternoon or
About
Sunday
Ken
afternoon.
Singleton, huh? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ken Singleton.
We
he was
played him the bunch.
Cecil
as an
Cooper.
outfielder.
I remember all these names.
Yeah, Kenny's nice.
who
Man, very nice
who
man.
was your best friend on the field?
I didn't really have.
Did you have a roommate? Like, did you use a roommate back then?
No, you had to pay back in our day. You had to pay the difference between a single and a double,
Really?
and I did
Really?
because I like my freedom. And but nowadays, it's in the contract, the basic agreement where you get a single room.
Now, I always thought that if you played for the Yankees, you got a little something back. Is that true?
You get a pinstripe. No,
They,
you
no.
get nothing.
They don't give you.
you don't have
Steinbrenner
to wear
didn't give
headphones
money
no more.
like a pension type of thing if
See,
you
no
were always a
headphones.
Yankee.
Well, no, the pension is
No echo?
league-wide.
No.
So then it's based on how many years you play.
Now, at Yankee Stadium, the new Yankee Stadium, you go into the museum and they have the section where all the signed balls. Is your ball in there?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, that's
There we
okay.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yankee.
All right.
Yeah.
I didn't know the perks. I didn't know the perks.
Didn't
Thanks for reminding
isn't that
me.
like every Yankee in that thing? Isn't it supposed to be? They try to
They
get
try
every
to get
Yankee
everyone, I think.
that
yes.
ever wore the pinstripes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they also they have the suites numbered, so by your number they have your name. And I was traded for Toby Hare, and we won.
Were you
we
traded
wore
for
the
Toby?
same, and we wore the same number, 11. So I'm under him as
You
far
know who
as
else wore that number? Fred Stanley.
the chicken wear.
That's right, he wore
Chicken
11.
Stanley wore 11.
Well, it was the only number that was
We don't, have
available.
the, we don't have the chicken man here tonight. But,
No, but yeah, we actually have a chicken man.
You were serious.
Yeah.
Mike was serious.
he's
Okay,
right
yeah.
there. He's
There's
right
the
there.
chicken man over here.
Oh my goodness.
He
Oh,
works
okay.
at, if you want, and by the way, if you want some good chicken, you go where he works at the Hawthorne Poultry, right? Is that
Yes.
like that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
yes. Are you from
I
the
can
area?
eat some
Still.
Yardbird.
Are you from the area?
I live in Bergen County.
Oh, okay. That's not that
Oh,
bad.
you're gonna meet the wise guy
A
right
little
there.
south of Oakland, but
The chicken man, Pedro Aliano. He's gonna hook you up.
oh, okay.
Yeah, he's right there.
Willie
He couldn't- he was out
I'm
of
all
town.
about perks.
He was-
Willie grew up in Brooklyn, but I think he's the only Yankee that lives in the area. Or
Yeah,
has
because
lived
his
for a long
son
time.
played for Indian Hills a couple years,
Right.
about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So I used to, to see Andre a lot.
Was that Franklin Lakes or where?
That is, Indian Hills is in Oakland.
Oakland. Okay. That's-
I just
I'm a little
posted,
south of that. Off.
I just
up to
posted
the right.
your year in pinstripes for our.
Well, thank you.
members.
Yes, you can get it off Amazon, or you can go to.
We
reunion
got
one?
time to that. We got
Oh,
more to talk about.
That's what
here.
we got an hour.
You
don't we?
had now in high school. You were a three-sport standout. You
I
played
wasn't good in
football?
basketball. I was good in
Right.
football.
Okay, yeah. Well, you did score a touchdown, I think, in the semifinal game. Was it the semifinal game?
Have you seen the movie Remember the Titans? Have any of you guys
Yes.
seen that?
Yes.
You've
I
seen
remember-
it?
yes.
Yes,
Haven't
I
seen
remember
that?
that. Is
Yeah.
that with
Denzel Washington?
Washington? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Right.
And a lot of young stars in there. Oh, geez, is it Ryan? No, not Ryan.
That's not the game.
It's not.
Is that?
We actually played. In real life, we played them in the state final.
Oh.
But the only game, the only thing in the movie that replicated us was that the game was played in Roanoke, Virginia, which it was, because you really can't Hollywood up a 27-0 score. So they had them in the movie play their district team, George Marshall, which was the only close game they played that year. We both went into the finals undefeated at 12-0, but they put a whipping on us. And but the Marshall game was that close. T.C. Williams shut out, including us, 8 of their 13 opponents.
Wow.
That's how good their defense was. In the semifinal game, I had caught 7 passes for 117 yards and a touchdown. Not that I would remember that from 46 years ago.
You probably remember like it was yesterday.
Like yesterday. I know, really. I can see the ball.
Al Bundy,
in the
right
final
here.
game, I caught
4 touchdowns in one game, Billy Sample.
We threw the ball quite a bit. Our quarterback was a coach's son. He was 6'3", had a nice touch, so it was fun to be an offensive player. But in the final game, I caught 1 pass. They called it back. Yeah, we got hurt.
Now, so football. Did you happen to play baseball because you got drafted by baseball, or that you still had a shot for football?
That's a good question, Freddie. No, actually, around age 15, I thought at my size, if I was going to go further, then it would be in baseball. If I'd have been maybe 6 feet or 6'1", I was kind of I ran good patterns and I had speed. My hands were okay, but I thought I had to be that tall in order to play football the way I played football. So at around 15, I thought, well, if I got a chance to get out of Salem, Virginia, it's going to be through baseball. And so I sort of concentrated on it.
And I think you're the 3rd baseball player we had on this show.
Oh, who else?
Rick Cerrone.
Oh, Rick Cerrone. Oh, we got some
threw
stories.
it-
We got some stuff to talk about all day.
We got another half hour. We're going to go on break, eat some pizza, come back.
Was Rick Cerrone the bully of the team? Is that what you're saying?
No.
I saved the higher contract for
God,
last.
like,
I saved the higher contract for I figure Rick Cerrone because he was a Yankee and
I played against
and he was
Rick
a
most
wise
of
guy.
the time, but, I think I broke
But
Rick's thumb. Yeah, I think I did.
you broke Rick's
You broke
thumb?
his thumb.
Yeah.
With the
Not
big-
intentionally.
swinging.
Yeah.
Wow, really? That's
Yeah. He was. It was a hit and run, and it was a pitch out on a hit and run, and I was trying to protect the base stealer because they had
So you
deciphered
broke
the
his-
hit and
so
run.
he swung at his
So
thumb.
he brought his hand up too quick to try to catch it and throw the runner out, and I broke his hand. I broke his thumb.
On
while I was
purpose?
catching him.
Let me tell you, back in
Do
the
I
day,
seem like
No
the kind of
comment.
guy that would break a guy's
listen,
thumb
back in the day,
intentionally?
baseball players were rough.
It was-
Even the little league
I
were
don't know. They're
rough.
playing rough now, though. Throwing
Yeah.
throwing behind Machado's head and said, "What is going on?"
Yeah, it's
Didn't Henny already paid his penance for
Didn't
that?
have a whole lot of beaming in that.
Did you see the interview with Machado? It was like beep, 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 and then
I can understand why he's upset about
Yeah,
it.
he said something about running out there with a bat and everything, man. But also we had Rick Cerrone and we had Mo Vaughn,
Jeez.
Jersey
Wow.
guy.
I went to Seton Hall.
He went to Seton Hall.
Oh,
and
Cerrone did too.
Cerrone did,
Yeah,
yes.
that's right, yeah.
No, Cerrone went to Seton Hall. I was
too,
thinking
yeah.
Essex Catholic because that's where Cerrone played at that was high school. Because he went to Essex Catholic was in Newark. Then it went to East Orange, but he played when it was in Newark. It was because we were from Newark.
Is that where you can go to whatever school you want to?
Newark?
Parochial schools around here can just recruit, can't they?
'Cause
Because I'm up there with Bergen Catholic and St. Joe's. And,
I don't know because I tell you I never played. I was a
what's
good
the other
baseball
one?
player.
Tell
I
how
just
many teams that you
Don
played
Bosco.
on up until like, you
Yeah.
know,
We could talk
7,
about
8
that
years
Yeah,
ago.
I go say yeah.
He's a nut.
Yeah.
Tell him how many teams you were on.
who me? Oh
You
no,
were playing.
softball.
All right, but
No, I was a good baseball player. I just because I didn't play. Problem with me why I never played high school ball was because it was too political. I was like a star in my league when I was in little league.
You're as big as you are now?
Yeah, I was a big kid.
Did you play football?
I played football too. I played more like, believe it or not, for my size, I was more like a tight end because you could throw a ball at me and I could just put one hand up and catch it. You know, like I could go far and just jump up with anybody. And I just could catch anything. You know, I could catch a ball with one hand, like always. I grew up a baseball player, and I learned how to play catch without a glove a lot, and to wear a glove was a lot easier. I was a lefty. I was one of the stars of my league. I'm not gonna brag. I know we're talking about you.
No.
But I just want you to
I
know.
like hearing other people's stories.
I lost my opportunity
point
to
I
play
brought up.
pro ball. I feel was because my high school was very political. And I felt that I was better than anybody they could put out there because I had that attitude and I was that good. I was the starting pitcher. I was a lefty batter. I was a switch hitter. And I was a lefty glove. But I never played first. I played third. But because I had such a good arm, I was the only little leaguer that could play third and could catch everything and throw a strike to first. Well, the problem in the little league was the kid catch the ball, but he couldn't throw to first. Remember, there was always the problem was I threw it too high, or threw it in the dirt. I threw a strike because I was a pitcher, you know, and anyhow, make a long story short is I never played. We always played with our friends. We were like Sandlot kids, and I was always a power hitter. I could hit a ball. I could never. I probably could hit a ball over 350 feet as a little leaguer.
Whoa.
I would say my farthest shot was in the 300-foot range. I mean, 320 foot. I mean, the one memorable shot they said that I hit one to another diamond, which was it rolled to another diamond, but I only made it a triple because I was very slow. My only thing I didn't have was speed. And but anyhow, make a long story short, again, is when I went to high school, I tried to join the league and they wouldn't let me. They told me that I had to sit, and I was like, sit.
Because you transferred?
Well, yeah, no, because I went from a North school to a Belleville school, and everybody was in the system already. I wasn't. I'm like, well, what do you mean? I can't just try out and prove to you that I'm better? No, you know, this kid's been there already, and I'm like, I never got a chance to play. So they told me to join track. So I joined track. I'm running around and they're practicing. I said, hey, coach, he was my shop teacher. I said, can you mind if I take a couple swings? They had their All-American, All-State on the mound throwing batting practice. So I said, yeah, all right. So he throws 3 pitches, and I never struck out. I was like struck out once a year. In Little League, I struck out once a year. Most in 1 year was twice. But I got up in high school against the star All-American, All-State, and I got up. I was a lefty. He struck me out 3 pitches, and then the coach said, "You have enough?" I said, "No, one more. Give me one more," because I never struck out. I couldn't catch up with it. I said, "Throw me one on one." And I hit a bomb opposite field on top of the school. Da-ding, da-ding. I remember that. I put the bat down and I hopped the fence. I said, "I got to finish my track." And the coach the next day was like, "Why didn't you join earlier in your?" I was like, "Look, I wanted to play, and this is my chance. You don't want me to play. You tell me I got to sit. If I could prove to you I'm better than your players, I should be playing." It was political. So that's why I never got a chance.
I love
But I
that.
went out to play softball and did my thing there.
I hear that more
I
from
made it to
people
professional
around here,
softball.
that there are politics that play into
Mm-hmm.
playing, and I'm not.
Boosters.
Yeah, but as a softball player, because I was a good ball player, I made it to professional softball, semi-pro, to the Nationals. I made it to the Nationals. I went to World Tournament in Wild World of Sports in Disney by playing softball. I mean, I was a good ball player, and you know, I just I miss it, but you know, it is what it is. But I wish I had that one more chance to try to play high school ball. I think I could have had at least a chance to play.
I got a buddy in my where I live. John Pimpinella is his name, and he played at Montclair. And Paul Mirabella, who pitched in the major leagues, left-handed pitcher, was teammates with me coming up through the minors, and he played on the same team as Mirabella, and has a lot of talent. I've seen him play different sports around the town, and he said he had trouble with his coach. I said, "Why didn't you get signed?" He said he had trouble with his coach. Well, a lot of us have trouble with our coaches, but we managed to get through that until you.
We're going to deal with Billy Martin for a year.
Well, according to our engineer, we're going to go right to 10 o'clock. Just so you know, I'm sorry. We're going to go right to the end.
Okay.
We're not doing no commercial. You're our special guest. They can wait for the commercials. But now we can get back into more stuff now.
Do we have to pause and
You-
so you can put a commercial in there?
No, we're done. Oh yeah, you want? Let's give everybody a break and bring up our sponsor of the evening. We want to thank Richard Starry, Steve Starry, Sean Starry. Let me see here.
You'll get it straight.
Let's do a little reading for a few people. Home Security Consultant LLC. They are sponsoring us tonight, tomorrow, and the next 4 weeks. Sean Starry, Home Security Consultant LLC. Go check him out at homesecurityconsultantllc.com. Sean Starry, who is he? He's an owner and a consultant of a security company, and he's there to help you fit your needs at your home to make it secure. Call him at 815-238-3005 and ask him about how you can secure your home and feel safe. I saw something about a smoke detector with cameras that you can view on your phone, all good stuff. There's so much more to talk to him about. He knows more about it than I do. All I can tell you is call Sean Starry at 815-238-3005. And tonight, we want to mention our meatball contest. The Wiseguyz versus the Wisegals. It's a $32 dinner where you get Lana Graziano. That's Renee Graziano's sister from Mob Wives, New York Mob Wives. Lana, you get Lana's famous Sunday gravy with rigatoni pasta, meatball, sausage, pork, topped with fresh mozzarella, plus coffee, soda, and a dessert that's out of this world. You gotta reserve. It's coming soon. It's May 16th on a Tuesday night. We did it that way so you can try to get out there instead of weekends are tough. But reserve by May 10th. Call 732-869-0700. It's at Bradley Beach, New Jersey, 600 Main Street and Brindley Avenue in Bradley Beach. I'm telling you, Wiseguyz. Also available, how to use a meat cleaver by the mob wives themselves. Renee's the mob wife, but Lana and the sisters, listen, they're wise gals the way you want to look at it, and we're going to battle them heads up. Who's going to make the best meatballs? And we're going to do a video for Lana and show her just a little taste of what we're going to get done. Meatball contest at Mangiare 2 in Bradley Beach on Tuesday, May 16th at 5 p.m. Reserve now. I'm telling you, bring your own too. There's no alcohol. You got to bring your own. And Mike's bringing his own. You coming?
I'm going to be in Vegas, but save me some meatballs.
All right. How about you? You coming?
I can't, I'm working.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, real quick, one more thing we want to mention. Actually, two more things. Freestyle Explosion, Big Daddy Entertainment, and Daddy Sunshine. They were here last week. This Saturday, May 6, 2017 at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6. You got the Freestyle Explosion Lupus Benefit Concert with Noel, Lizette Melendez,
Dana Dante.
Who?
Dana Dante.
Donnie Dante. Yeah, no, I didn't get to her yet. Voice, we have Alias, Willie Valentine, David Eric, he was here last week, Clear Touch, and our buddy Hector Lewis, who will be getting up there doing a little comedy. You know Hector, right?
I know Hector.
Yeah, Hector. You've done stuff with Hector.
Oh, yeah.
And Lime. Remember Lime? Freestyle Explosion. There's a lot more to come. Check them out. Call for more information, 551-689-0500. Tickets on sale at www.freestyleexplosion.brownpapertickets.com. I'm telling you, it's at the Landmark Lowe's Jersey Theater, 54 Journal Square Plaza, Jersey City, New Jersey. Also, one other event. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. That's the last. We're definitely gonna promote that. But we want to mention the walk, Daddy Sunshine, the fight against lupus. Register now. 3rd Hudson County Lupus Walk, a day of family-friendly activities. Saturday, May 13, 2017, at 10 a.m. at 1 Lincoln Park, Jersey City. Sign up and or donate. HudsonCountyLupusWalk.org. Again, info, call 551-689-0500. You are not alone. And my final announcement of the evening is for our photographer, who is around here somewhere, A&D photographer, Anthony Scala, and his photo booth, his Royal Blue photo booth. Check him out on Facebook. He's great for any event. He can take the pictures, or he brings his photo booth with all the props and stuff, all good stuff. He's involved in a trail run and walk for Gramgy, in memory of Pat Glams, I can't even read it. Prelude to a Cure. You got to check it out on Saturday, May 13, 2017 at the Hilltop Reservation, Quarter Lane, North Caldwell, sponsored by Brian and Elise. I'm telling you, got to check it out. It's a trail run walk for Gramgy, and it's called Prelude to a Cure. Check that out on Facebook, and there's awards, all good stuff. So please check it out. And we're gonna go right back to our guest of the night, our in-studio guest, Billy Sample, who's gonna tell us a story about baseball and what he remembers the most.
I got a question for Billy.
Yeah, thank you.
See, you
Bail me out there. I don't know.
Are you enjoying yourself on the Wiseguyz show?
This is fun.
See, this is every week for us.
Notice my voice went out. This is fun. Oh, this is fun.
Come hang
Thank
out.
you.
He's got a
Come
question.
hang out
Billy,
anytime.
You talked about Rick Cerrone before, and there was a famous altercation with Rick Cerrone and George Steinbrenner. Do you remember the details of that?
I wasn't there.
You remember
No, I wasn't. I was there the year that Billy Martin and Ed Whitson got into a fight.
That was 85.
Or a series of
Oh, I
fights.
remember that. I remember
Yeah.
that. Woodson beat him up, right?
Well, Billy had a broken arm afterwards. I wasn't there for the fight. I was in the bar the night before, but somehow my timing has never been
You were
good
in the
that-
bar that night?
The night before.
Oh, the night before.
I missed that. And there was almost a fight in the bar in Baltimore the night before, but I just sort of watched it long enough to see that finally they weren't going to fight.
In '85, was Billy Martin fired in '85, and Yogi bought in?
No, it was Yogi's last 16 games, starting the season,
Right.
and then Billy came in.
And then Yogi never talked to Steinbrenner
Right,
for
right.
a
Until
long
Susan
time.
Wallman brokered a deal between Yogi and George, and they met and made up at the museum, the Yogi Bear
Exactly.
In
Museum in Montclair, or is that Montclair?
Upper Montclair.
Yeah,
Upper
it's
Mont-
on the campus. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of fights with with George and the players.
Yeah,
that had
it
to
was
be reconciled years later.
Anthony, you could cut the tension sometimes with a knife. It was just the whole matrix from George to Billy to the press to the players and back up. And that was a year that Steinbrenner called Winfield Mr. May.
Right.
But aside from that, there really wasn't a whole lot that went on, but just daily there was something going on all the time. I told the New York sports writers, there were a couple of them, that they were lucky because in Texas, where I played most of my career, you might have to search for a story, but with the Yankees, there was just one evolving every day, it seemed like. It was just
70s,
like,
they used to call the Bronx Zoo.
yeah. I was teammates with a lot of those guys, but all of them in Texas, like Sparky Lyle in Texas, Mickey Rivers in Texas, Bucky Dent in Texas. So I guess after they wore out their welcome in New York, they were traded to Texas. Brad Corbett, who was the owner of the Rangers at the time that I came up, was a New York guy. So he and Steinbrenner.
Were you ever close with Reggie Jackson? I mean, I'm sure
Reggie
he
and I get along. Yeah, I get along.
I'm sure he talked about that dugout scene several times.
Do you know, I've not talked to him about it. I was always an opponent of
Right.
Reggie, so I really didn't. But we've been
Were you
in
a-
situations before, off field, and he and I had fun.
He wasn't on the Yankees when you were there?
No, he was with the
He was
Angels.
already
when I
traded
was
to the
there.
Angels?
Yeah, he was with the Angels
He was
when I
with
was
the
there. I
Angels
think he
in
was in the
83.
82. Yeah, okay,
82
right.
was his last year with the Yankees.
So then you played
83.
with Winfield?
Yes.
Okay, so 'cause I remember
The
he
team
left-
was pretty much the outfield was Winfield, Ricky Henderson, Ken Griffey Sr. For the most part, and then whatever spot that Ken Griffey Sr. was not playing, about 8 of us
What
were
a
trying
career
to play
Ricky
it.
Henderson had.
Oh.
I mean, he didn't stop playing till... Was he really that old?
He didn't stop playing till the Newark Bears got put
Yeah,
out of
but-
business.
Yeah, but
He's
no.
hanging out down there.
But he was like the oldest
Yeah, I
major
saw
leaguer
him. Saw him.
playing for the
He
Bears.
was in his
Yeah.
40s. Yeah, I think he was in his 40s before he.
I
He
got
was
my
up there.
Kennedys at home. I'm mad I did not bring one of them
You didn't
in
bring
my
any of them?
attic. No, I wasn't thinking. But
Actually,
this
that's an,
was
80,
the
that's an
86.
That's an 86 card. You
Yeah.
were
Well,
the
listen,
Yankees in 86.
Billy Sample
But they
wants
were
to
a
do
year
some
late.
shit.
Weren't
I'll
they
be
a year
around.
late?
What's that?
The
There you
cards
go.
were always like a year late, right?
Couple of
If you
base
played in
stealers, yeah.
'85, the '86 prints
Yeah,
were
yeah.
the last
Yeah.
year. Yeah,
What,
With
how
that
did
is
you-
awesome.
How did
Ricky
you come back
Henderson?
with the Yankees in 86? I'm sorry.
Well, by the end of the year, Anthony, I was in a Billy Martin doghouse with about a 2-foot leash, so I figured that I was not coming back. I don't know why. Well, there could be 15 different reasons. Like maybe we had the same nickname. I'm not sure, but I wasn't a favorite, and Billy was still in control at that time. Billy Martin was still in control, so I was traded after the season.
Really?
To
Really?
the Braves. Uh-huh.
And that, so
I
but
had
did,
no
you
idea
did play
why
under
Bobby
Billy
Cox-
Martin for
Yes.
a little bit?
Yes, it was the year I was there in '85 was Mattingly's MVP season.
Right.
That was special. He did some surreal things that year, and it was Yogi's last 16 games starting the '85 season, and then he was let go, and Billy Martin came for whatever tenure it was for Billy. I'm not sure.
Who was the toughest pitcher you faced?
We don't have enough time. We're stopping at 10, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We got plenty of time.
No, we don't have time to go through the toughest guys I had to face.
No, we do.
Tough-
We got
Jeez.
20 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Well, actually, 15.
50. That might not be enough.
Well, the toughest pitcher first. Let's just start with that.
Well,
Because you were a hitter, and I know you see. I like to talk about Little League. I remember the toughest pitcher I faced, and he was the one who would strike me out at least once a year. You know, and it took it.
well, you only
hard.
struck out twice a year.
I that was 1 year I struck out twice.
Wow.
1 year, and it was in the All-Star. It was in the All-Star game. So
No
I mean,
kidding.
I struck out once in the regular season, once in the All-Star games. It was twice a year.
Were the all-star opponents from the other division or from your division?
No, it was just all from the whole league.
From the whole league.
From the
Oh,
whole league,
everybody-
we're just
okay.
mixed into all stars and
Oh,
split up
okay.
into teams, and we played. But I remember who struck me out. I mean, so but I remember who I faced, and I was just afraid of facing because of the way they pitched. And the only way I got even was because I pitched too. So if they did something, I had to pitch to them. So it was the same kind of thing. We were kids who lived. I used to get up and bat. You know who taught me how to play? The baseball players on TV. When I used to get up, I used to simulate Reggie Jackson's stance. If I got in a slump, I'd simulate Greg Nettles' stance. If I got in another slump, I simulate Thurman Munson. And I keep moving it around. But that's what we did. Kids nowadays, they don't do that. They learn from their teachers and stuff. Our teachers were not only our coaches, but because we had the love for baseball. We used to watch them play and simulate them. Throwing, I used to simulate Ron Guidry when I threw. He was my favorite player. So, actually, Nettles was my favorite player.
That was his last 20-win season.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying, those were our teachers. So you got to remember who you faced. That you always had to have that thing that, like, maybe you were worried that they're going to throw at you, or they threw crazy stuff like a Phil Niekro or Joe Niekro. I mean, was there anybody that you were like just didn't want to face?
Again, we don't have enough time. No, actually, Fred, yeah. The late Tom Underwood and I knew that I had trouble against him. And he was pitching for the Orioles at this time. I had trouble with him when he was with the Blue Jays or the Yankees.
So you're saying Underwood, not Palmer?
No, Underwood.
Underwood.
And I got he cut like a cutter fastball into my hands, and I hit it so poorly that it didn't get to anybody. And like a golf shot, it started to backspin. And he looked at me at first, and I looked at him, and I kind of nodded because that's the only hit I remember.
Oh.
And I looked through the numbers. You can go through baseball-reference.com and see how you match up against. They don't have it all right, but they've got it right enough. And I was 2 for 21 off him.
Wow.
But I was worse against some other guys. I was 1 for 16 against Shane Raleigh. I was 1 for 14 against Jack Morris. I started going through these numbers, and I'm thinking, how did I stay in the league? Who did I hit? I'm 1 for.
Did you ever face Raleigh Fingers?
Yes.
You did face him? How was he?
Great control.
Yeah.
Great control. Not particularly a hard thrower, but great control. Slider, you get hit on the corner.
I'm very impressed with his detail. He remember. I'm just like.
Listen, I
remember facing when he was with Milwaukee. In fact, he won the MVP with the Brewers, I think.
Like yesterday.
And one of those strikes. I think the strike shortened year he won. He won MVP. He won something.
You never had a
Raleigh Fingers. He won the.
I faced.
You're talking about Raleigh Fingers?
An exhibition. I'm talking
He
about.
won
No,
the
I faced him when he was
fireman.
with the White Sox.
Okay.
Who's
Yeah.
that? Who's that?
Tom Seaver.
Oh,
Tom Seaver was at the end of his career with the White Sox.
He was trying to get 300.
How about
He got
Phil
300.
Niekro? Phil
I didn't
Niekro?
do well on him at all. I
The
was 0 for
knuckleball?
8, I think, a lifetime against Phil. But Phil was with the Yankees when I was there.
Oh,
And he
okay.
won his 300th on the last game of the season.
Oh, were you there for that?
Well, it's on the team still.
Oh, yeah, you were so okay. Well, you played the full
They
season.
didn't let me go yet. No.
Did you play the full season with the Yankees?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so they let you go
They
and then you
needed
went to the
somebody
Braves.
to sit on the bench for the TV camera. No.
You went to the Braves.
Yeah, I was
That was
traded to the
America's
Braves.
team. Wasn't that America's
Not in
team back
85,
then?
not in 86.
Not in 86, although we were a game and a half out at the All-Star break and didn't finish much better than that.
Let me ask you something. Was it different? You played with the Rangers and the Yankees. Was it different going from American League to National League?
Yes. Yes.
Because of the DH?
Yes, in large part. I think the pitch patterns are different. They throw harder in the National League because they utilize their fastball more. And the American League is more of a breaking ball league because
Really?
because of the
It is
DH.
like it's 2 leagues then.
Yeah, and back then too because the ballparks were more uniform. But the DH does make a difference because you can't throw just here a fastball to 9 legitimate hitters. Somebody's going to get you at some point. So they would try to keep you off balance so much in the American League. I was just thinking the other day that Doug Flynn, who played most of his career in the National League and won the Gold Glove, with the Mets and the Reds. He was on our team and he was our 9th place hitter. And somebody threw him a 3-1 curveball and he was beside himself because they wouldn't have wasted a 3-1 curveball on him in the National League because he wasn't a power hitter. They would just throw fastball here, see how far you can hit it. You might hit it hard right into shortstop or
Now,
something.
obviously, your career was American League versus American
I
League.
love the National League. I love the National League's.
How do you-
I love the challenge of them. They sort of come at you a little bit in the National League.
How do you think you would have fared now with interleague play? I mean, you have the Yankees playing the Mets.
Well, not more interleague play with the talent nowadays. Do you? I mean, because I noticed a couple of different things. There was more anger in a player back then. You saw more rugged. Nowadays, you just see kids coming out of college or minors, and there's still a fight in them, but you don't see that. You don't see that hatred like Yankees hated the Red Sox. Thurman Munson could not stand Carlton Fisk. You know what I mean? You do not
Good
see
point.
that no
Good
more.
point. Yeah.
And
Buddy
the
Harrelson,
game is
Pete Rose.
changing to where you're seeing 99-mile-an-hour pitchers, 100-mile-an-hour pitchers throwing like all day long. There was only a few. Well, would you say there was only a few back then? Would you say the average
Well,
pitch?
that's a good point, Freddie. I was talking to Gerald Perry, who was a teammate in Atlanta and later became a hitting instructor, and he said that one of the differences between our era and the era now is that they don't come out of the bullpen throwing, or in our era, they didn't come out of the bullpen throwing 98, 99, 100. Because they didn't. You didn't
Right.
find many. The hard throwers were probably mid-90s coming out of the bullpen. Usually those pitchers were at the end of your roster. Nowadays they can come in and throw. Somebody throws 95 from the left side with movement. Somebody can throw 97 from the right side, and they'll do that. They'll back it up, and I don't think they backed it up quite as much in my day as they do now.
What pitcher in your era would you say didn't get the credit he deserved that you thought was really, really good and just that, like, because like nowadays you'll see pitchers throwing 97 and it's just like everyone else throwing 97. Were there pitchers back then that true like Nolan Ryan that you just didn't think got the credit that Nolan got?
Well, I don't know if I can come up with somebody right off the top of my head, but I will say that I don't understand why Jack Morris is not in the Hall of Fame.
Really?
He's just one that I'm
Yeah,
still scratching my
feel-
head going, what else does one have to do? And they talk about a high earned run average. Okay, his earned run average was higher, would be higher than anybody else that went into the Hall of Fame, but he's the one that pitched only to a lineup that has a designated hitter in it. And a lot of the guys in the Hall of Fame didn't do that. So he had 9 legitimate hitters every night. Of course, your
Yeah.
ERA is going to be a little bit higher if you're going against 9
Right.
legitimate hitters as opposed to 8 hitters on the pitcher and probably a weak number 8 hitter at that. He's a guy that I think, as great as he was, and he had more
I
wins than
agree.
anybody in
I
the
agree.
80s, and he had 3 World Series championships. I think he's the one that if I had to promote somebody and say, well, what's wrong with this picture? I would say it's Jack Morris, not in the Hall of Fame.
I agree. That's definitely one guy that definitely belongs in the Hall of Fame. But where I was a little surprised that Vladimir Guerrero never got in either. He should have been.
He'll
first
be, yeah, he
ballot.
should be.
He'll get in,
He'll
but he
get in
should have been
next
first
year.
ballot. That kid was
I agree with
crazy,
you. I
crazy.
agree. I thought he was
I was afraid of him. I hated him because he was he used to kill the Yankees all the time. But
Didn't strike out
no,
much.
he was and I had a cannon of an arm.
Average, yeah.
And plus I got like 10 of his autographed rookies, and damn, that hurt me. So, but
When he used to bring his mom when he came over.
listen, when I looked at him for
she
the first time, I said, "Black guy named Vladimir." I
There
don't
was a
get
big
this.
Russian influence in the Dominican Republic.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, Vladimir, and where's that coming? No, but I do want to ask you: did you ever face Goose Gossage, Rich Gossage?
Yes.
And what did you think of him? Was he as intimidating as he looked?
The problem, I didn't have problem, and I faced
His
just a
intimidation
handful
reminds me of
times.
a Randy Johnson type of intimidation.
Yeah.
I mean, but was he as intimidated? I mean, when you got up against a guy like him in this big part of the game, were you just wondering if he was just going to throw wild and come at you? And...
No, I didn't have a lot of fear that way, and I was a good high fastball hitter. But what was tough about it, and I did have one of those, the only time I think I was consciously aware that I don't really want to do this was when Goose was on the mound late in the game, and it's a 1-run game. So if the first guy gets on, I've got to bunt him over. Well, you're in your most vulnerable situation when you're bunting. The only time I got hit in the head really was when I was bunting. And so you've got to get the bat out in front of the plate to keep it fair. And you've got to give a little bit because the person's throwing so hard and it's jumping onto your bat. And I thought, oh my goodness, I don't know if I brought enough testosterone to the ballpark today to do this. But somehow it didn't materialize.
Yeah, you couldn't say that. You couldn't say that a few years ago. People don't take it the wrong way. What was the biggest moment of your your biggest at bat? Like what do you like the biggest moment where maybe for a playoff spot, I mean,
You heard the crowd go just crazy.
yeah, I mean where you were just needed in that moment, something that you remembered, something that sticks out in your
Saved
mind.
the game.
We ask this question to every our guest, and it's a lot of fun because whoever's listening is curious about a few
What the
things.
players,
One is
the
what they're.
players,
I'm going to ask you. The last thing I'm
euphoric
going to ask you is what do you recommend for kids nowadays who do want to make it to the pros? But before that, I want to know what was your biggest moment that you could remember?
I had a Yankees half inning. For as little as I played there, I had a Yankees half inning. Against the Red Sox, it was a 4-game sweep at the stadium. There were great catches in the whole series. I remember Ricky Henderson made a great catch, and Willie Randolph made a great catch. And my game was Game 3, bases loaded, protecting a one-run lead somewhere around the sixth, I think. And Marty Barrett hit a line drive to left center, and I dove and made the catch. And in fact, Jim Rice was at third. He didn't tag up the score, which I'm not sure what Jim was thinking. But so that was a great catch. And then a batter later, Wade Boggs singles to left. The tying run scores, and I throw Rich Gedman out at the plate.
Oh, nice.
So it's 2-2, and I didn't even get to bat again because they changed pitchers in Ken Griffey Senior game. My day was over.
So you were friends with Ken Griffey
Senior?
Senior?
Oh,
yeah.
Junior was only like 15
Because
years
I
old.
messed up. I put a picture of him first on the poster. Remember, I screwed up the poster of you.
Oh.
I put.
Okay,
Ken
that's-
Griffey, and you're like, that's not
He's
me.
a
I'm
handsome
like,
man.
Oh my
He's
God.
a very handsome man. I was flattered. At least you're gonna put somebody that looks good up there. I'm
Well,
okay.
I didn't think it was you, and somebody was telling me that.
Oh, I get
was
that
you.
sometimes. I get that from somebody did Don Baylor, which I'm sure really made Don Baylor mad. I
Well,
have to tell
when
him when I see him next
yes,
time.
his picture pops up when you.
Every once in a while, yeah. So I get
When you
Baylor, I
Google
get
your name, those.
Andre
pictures-
Robertson. We all kind of. I can see where that
Bob Watson
happens.
used to look like Reggie Jackson. With
Yeah,
the
I can
glasses.
see that about the same.
Actually,
yeah.
I was looking up your name and I saw a picture of Sidney Porte come up.
How was it like
Well,
playing
thanks, Mike.
with
Really.
Cliff Johnson? Big
Cliff.
Cliff Johnson.
We were never teammates.
No?
Yeah, we got in a fight one time
Did you?
in Oakland. No, it was in Texas actually.
Against
playing
each other,
Oakland.
or
No, not he and me, but Danny Darwin, who we talked about Danny earlier, he threw from right around here, 3/4, and he'd run a fastball in on right-handed hitters. If he hit you and you objected, he'd meet you halfway if you wanted to discuss it. He wouldn't let you get tired running after him. And so he hit Cliff on the hip. He didn't mean to do it, but he hit him.
Yeah.
And then the next at bat, I guess Billy Martin had gotten it. He was managing Oakland at the time, and I guess he had gotten into Cliff's ear and said, "You're gonna let him do something like that?" So the next at bat, Cliff grounds out, and then he crosses the mound and says something to Darwin, and they start hooking him. So we had a bench clearing, but we had some guys that would fight. So it was
back then, that's
yeah,
what they were
yeah,
wrecky. They would
had-
fight
oh,
anybody.
They had some. Well, they had some. Yeah, even before I got it to the big leagues for good, Willie Horton. We had Willie Horton, and they still had John Ellis and Claudel Washington. They had some guys that could throw hands. So if they wanted to fight, they could fight.
What do you think of today? Do you think of baseball today? When you watch it, do you see anything?
Oh, I'm amazed by it.
Yeah.
The talent.
Aaron Judge, names like that coming into the game now.
6'7",
Another home run
275.
tonight.
10 years, 5, 6
Wow.
years, he might be the next Babe Ruth. He's that
They
big.
can still bases too.
Yeah.
And just it's.
What's your
Wow.
advice to kids nowadays who want to make it into the pros one day?
Well, scouts are looking for something potentially major league, whether it's major league arm like you had, or major league speed like I had, or major league bat, major league power. So if you have something that sets you apart along the areas that the scouts are looking for, then I think that helps you as far as getting scouted and getting drafted. Aside from that, I would tell you, as I was telling some kids in Inglewood Cliffs earlier this week, that if you get to a point where you're working on improving your skills, don't worry about beating your friend or beating the guy that goes to the other school. Worry about being better than you were the day before. And there's probably always something you can work on. And you can apply that not only in athletics, you can do it in academics, you can do it in any walk of life. But if you just get into a rut, then try to be better than you were the day before, or do something that was different than you did the day before. Because you always have to kind of improve. Because if you're not getting better, then if somebody else is getting better, then you're becoming stagnant.
You got that, young guys out there. Again, you want to, before we go, you want to promote your book and where you could find it, or any websites? Or,
Well, both the book and the movie are on Amazon. You can pick them up. Reunion 108. Does anybody know why 108? There's a baseball-centric reason for 108. Yeah, but you can there's a Facebook for Reunion 108. You can get the book. A link is there for the book and the movie. And but you can get it off Amazon.
Yeah, if you want to find the Amazon, his book, it's on our Facebook group page. And any websites, anything, you can find Billy Sample on Facebook if you want to message him about anything you'd like to know about.
I'm closing in on my 5,000 friends, so
well, you
get
better
me
hurry
early.
up.
Yeah, better hurry up.
How'd the film get an R rating? That's what I'm.
A strong R, Mike. A strong
I
R.
love it. I love it. I will be watching.
It's from my screen. It's from my screenplay, and
It's right up my
It's a
alley.
behind-the-scenes look. Oh, I think you'd like it. A behind-the-scenes. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to shoot. And I was talking earlier about not Reunion 108, but the Remember the Titans playing in that game. I actually have a guy in the movie in my movie, who was in the movie Remember the Titans.
Oh,
Bo
okay.
Keister, which is kind of
Okay,
like
cool.
a little full circle.
Well, we got an engineer going to close us out. Is he there?
He's
Anybody
not
closing
here.
us out?
And Mike's gonna sing.
We're supposed to.
Oh, here he is.
Sing
He's
some
here.
Are
Mordino.
we done? I mean, are we done? All right. Well, Billy, I want to thank you for coming in and joining the Wiseguyz show. This was
Freddie,
great.
thank you.
Let me
That's
give
a lot
Billy,
of fun.
Yeah.
Billy Sample, legendary ball player. That's right. You played 9 seasons in Major League Baseball. You're a legend in my book.
Well, thank you,
And
sir.
especially you had a high batting average. Not too many batters can. You got guys that leave the league playing batting 230. You know, and 270. You're close to 300. I mean. But we want to thank you for coming in. We want you to know anytime
Thanks,
you want to promote anything, you let us know. You're always welcome to join us in the studio. And all I can tell you is God bless you. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed your
I
stay
did.
here with
I did
us.
very much. Thanks,
And I
guys.
hope you enjoyed the Wiseguyz. 2 of the
Yes.
Wiseguyz couldn't make it. Billy, John, Jerry the plumber, I hope you feel better. And Pete the chicken man from Alcatraz, stay safe wherever you are. Who knows where you could be. And Andrew Anderson, the wrestler in Las Vegas, whatever you're doing out there, I hope you win. But Billy, a sample, everybody, thank you so much. Again, give him another round of applause. We want to thank Bobby Hart and Frank Gigante for coming in and telling us all the story. But this is the Wiseguyz Show. Another version of the Wiseguyz Show is over. We'll be here back next week. And come to our Facebook group page and check us out for more information on all the stuff the Wiseguyz does. And we're always going to be on ddvradio.com, DDV Radio on TuneIn, Armed Forces Radio Network. We'll be on City World Radio tomorrow night. Check us out there. And Village Connection Radio Network on Monday between 9 and 11. But we replay again here on Saturday, same time, between 8 and 10 on Saturday. We're here, Jacob?
Yes.
I think
We want to
so.
thank the engineer, Jacob. We want to thank Mike Jenkins for coming in, the Mad Dog, Jumpin' Gennaro, Anthony the Source, Bobby Hart, thank you, Frank Gigante, and obviously our big in-studio guest tonight, Billy Sample, Major League Baseball. Billy! This is the Wiseguyz Show. We'll be back next week with a guest that you
It's
can't
your
imagine.
eyes
Check it out on
like a
Facebook.
big pizza by that amore. When you dance down the street with a cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, when you know you're not dreaming,
I didn't get too much into the
Scusa me,
broadcast
but you
because
see
I
back
figured-
in old
You did-
Napoli,
when you
that's
left the Braves, you went
amore.
to broadcast the Braves?
Did the
We're gonna
Braves
eat some pizza now. or what?
88, 89 with
Freddie.
got a picture of
Freddie,
my broadcast.
give me those headphones.